Once I figured out that touch, man, my phase went to another level. But I would like to see people do some different things besides, temping the line up. If I was to create a movie on my life, Currency would be the soundtrack.
All right, welcome back to another episode of Qualified Conversations, where we have in-depth conversations with those who are, in fact, qualified. Now, listen, before we get started, make sure everybody out there, y'all subscribe to the YouTube channel at Life As I See It. Also, make sure y'all follow us on all social media platforms at Qualified Conversations. I'm your host, Jerz, aka Life As I See It, and this is a super duper special guest today. I know, I'm never gonna stop saying that in the intro, so just get used to me saying this is a special guest. Everybody's special from here on out, and that's a fact once again. If you're noticing, background's a little bit different, and because we got a real special treat for y'all today. First and foremost, we're in Atlanta, Georgia. So here in Atlanta, Georgia, you have certain people, certain names that just resonate and that kind of just represent Atlanta in the proper light. One of those names is Killer Mike. So we sitting here live in the swag shop. This is Killer Mike's barbershop, and we have one of his most esteemed barbers in the building today for this special episode. Hailing from New Orleans, you know what I'm saying? You already know I got love for my people out in NO. It's always love, man. Welcome to the program. Welcome to the platform. We got Jacque in the building.
Oh, man.
Know what I mean?
That was dope,
We got Jacque in the building.
My God.
Gotta definitely dap on that and say, thanks for coming on the platform and, thanks for, opening up the shop and everything, just for having this super dope conversation.
Man, likewise. I appreciate you having me as well.
Yeah.
What's up, y'all?
Yeah. So, I mentioned, right, hailing from NO, right, because I know we in Atlanta right now, we in the shop,
for sure.
But hailing from New Orleans, let's talk a little bit about that, right, because like I said, I love New Orleans. Every time I go, I have a good experience. I'm a big music guy, so the culture is super vibrant, but I know your experience is a lot more deep-rooted than mine, so talk about the early goings in your life just coming up in New Orleans.
I went to school out there, elementary school, middle school. I played ball. You know what I'm saying? All my family, I still have a lot of family out there, especially on my dad's side. Man, being from New Orleans, man, it's a great thing, dog. I wouldn't change it for anything. Like, if we had to do this all over again, I would be from New Orleans every single time.
Nah, that's fire.
So, yeah.
I feel that pride from people from New Orleans. Like,
sure.
It's certain cities that have a certain, I'm gonna shout some of y'all out so we show love. Like, Detroit is one of those cities, right? New Orleans is one of those cities, right? Obviously New York City, but like Brooklyn, people from Brooklyn, like they have a certain pride about, where they from, right? And a bunch of other places, right? But my point is, I recognize that, and that's something that I connect with in New Orleans. So like, was the music bug something that you were bit by early on? Because it's so prevalent in a city like New Orleans. Was that something that kind of piqued your interest early?
Man, for sure, man. Early on, for me, my introduction to music was, Master P, Cash Money.
Of course.
For a while, that's all I knew.
Of course.
I didn't even listen to anything else really. And, my first introduction to like music outside of New Orleans was Jay-Z. My cuz had a CD with a bunch of, a binder with a bunch of CDs in it, and man, I took Reasonable Doubt out, and I didn't know what I was getting, and I popped it in and was listening to it, and I liked it. That was my introduction to like, a different type of music outside of New Orleans or whatever. Soulja Slim, Currency, I'm definitely, deeply rooted with the New Orleans music. I grew up on it heavy, yeah. So.
And do you have anybody in your family who does music?
Yeah, I got a lot of people in my family who does music. My uncle, his name is Black Flag, Flag as in Flagg.
Okay.
He was signed to Southern Impact Records, which is, I don't know if y'all familiar with David Robinson, NBA player.
Yeah.
He had his own label. He had my uncle sign with him. And I got a lot of other family members, man. I used to do a dip and dab with the music a little My cousins got a group called Blood Fam, stand for Brothers, Loyalty, Order, Obedience, and Discipline. So, yeah, we was moving around with that for a while too. Here, Charlotte, Texas, man, all through the South region for real. Tennessee, all through there, man. We was moving around, pushing the music. And we had our opportunities, man. We just weren't focused like we should at the time. We was running around chasing girls, smoking, and just
getting into things.
Off with the music, I mean, with the money, instead of investing it back into what we were supposed to be, doing. So, but yep.
But a lot of people, because I'm about to say, like, what about yourself? Like, you ever ride a 16?
Yeah, I wrote a 16.
You had to have run a, like, who ain't ride a 16?
I got a few of them. It's been a long time. I got a few of them.
What was your rap name?
My rap name was Rello. My middle name's Sorrell.
Right.
A lot of people call me Rello, R-E-L-L-O.
All right, now that's hard.
I smoke a lot of weed too. So.
Yeah, that works. That works. That's dope. You ain't got no balls still though.
Nah. I put the pen down.
Gotta try. What is it that?
But I got some artists for you now. I got some followers I can unload a clip with. You need some balls. I got some.
All right, word. Definitely. Now we could definitely chop it on that. I was about to say, I lost the thought just that fast. Never mind that. Okay, so you went by Rello. That was the other life, right? Like dibbling and dabbling on the music side. Because again, man, we come from an era where knowing all of the words was everything, right?
Sure.
Like, I always tell a story about like, writing certain lyrics down, making your tape, record, rewind, and write the lyrics down so you learned it. Like, we was doing that shit way more. We was way more interested than homework.
Yeah, for
like,
sure.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so we kind of come from that. And was it a moment that clicked for you that said, I'm not as good as everybody else, or you just feel like because you stopped that you just kind of lost the sharpness of the skill?
Man, I just was kind of doing it really because it's like
everybody
a lot
else
of
was
people
doing
in my
it.
family make music, and I mean, they'll vouch for me. I was alright at it. I think they think I was a little better than what I thought I was, but and I just never was really passionate about it myself doing it. I like hearing other people do it and everything. So I don't have like no solo songs or no solo albums.
Got
a few features
Apple
I
Music.
did. Nah. That never was the goal for me or whatever. It just was, just being a part of it. They wanted me to be a part of it. I like what they was doing, and that's how we did it.
Dope. All right. So that, and then like household, you got a lot of siblings, no siblings. What's that dynamic look like for you?
I got 2 brothers and a sister. I'm the oldest.
Okay. All right. So you're the oldest.
Yeah, I'm the oldest, man.
So you got held to the highest responsibility at all times.
Yeah, I definitely did. I went through all the learning curves, of my parents just figuring out life and everything. And, by the time they start getting decent careers and making decent money, and I was on my way out the door. My brothers and them got, they got all the J's and everything, the new clothes and all that.
When they was more established.
Yeah. I was there through the rough times.
All good. Builds character for sure.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? And what it does is also, it subsides entitlement. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
Learning that you can't always get your way. Learning you can't get it every time. Like sometimes you gotta wait. Like all those huge lessons that you might think, are little lessons, or you learn later that they actually meant more, but they're all super valuable, right? Because it helps. Sure. It's all about balance, right? I say often, too much of anything can kill you.
For sure.
So it's all about balance, right?
Yeah, I don't have many regrets, man. I feel like if you change one little aspect or something, you rearrange your whole life. So
yeah,
I like it the way it is.
Word.
The way it's gone. Yep.
All right, so I'm gonna do something different. Normally, we would go through, an entire timeline, and we're still gonna get into some of those things in regards to you and what it is that you do, so on and so forth. But I want to kind of switch gears a little bit and actually introduce some of the rapid fire questions early in the interview, right? Because I feel like, first of all, again, we are at the Swag Shop. We are in Atlanta, Georgia. This is the hottest barbershop in Atlanta. So, you know what I'm saying? I'm vouching. I come here. Shouts to my barber, Al. This is the chair I sit in. He's super fire. So shouts to Al.
Shout out to Rob. Shout out to New Face. The show.
Definitely
Kim,
shouts to New Face. You know what I'm saying? The entire staff, and of course Killer Mike, right? I sit here. He's a barber, and he cuts right here. And you know, so we always get into these debates. It's barbershop talk. You know, whether we talking about sports or whether we talking about music. So really quick off the bat, putting you on the spot. I want you to give me who you think is the most influential person to come out of New Orleans and why.
Oh man, damn. Definitely said you was gonna put me on the spot. So okay, so I'm gonna get into your answer. Just bear with me.
Sure.
Right? So first off, you know, we got a lot of great people come from New Orleans, influential. On Master P, man, I think everybody know he kind of kicked it off, put the city on the map. You know, getting it from the ground up, selling the CDs out the trunks and everything. I think everyone knows the history with that pretty much. Weezy, man, you know, that's probably the safe answer. Weezy, I think you know, because it's not
a bad
even,
answer.
Yeah, it's definitely not just New Orleans. I think when you mention Lil Wayne name, it's like it's global. He got a global name. I don't think anyone has the impact Weezy has from New Orleans. But man, my personal favorite though.
Okay, give it to me.
Currency, man. That's my guy, dog. Spitter.
See, listen, and again, I always say, right, you know, we always have these top 5 debates. Who's your top 5, you know, dead or alive, whatever. I always say, first of all, before we start the list, I don't care where I rank, whoever I rank, always on my list is going to be Currency at number 6. Okay. That's just because Spitter is my guy. He's one of the most consistent, and he's just a cool, super dope, authentic person who stayed in his lane, created a lane for himself, but again, lives a great life.
For sure.
Don't bother nobody. Don't have no beef, no drama. It was a little, you know,
for sure.
But you know what I'm saying? But definitely respect Currency. And I definitely respect Lil Wayne, probably as the answer, you know, so to speak, right?
Sure.
Because I think Master P is the guy. No, we can't say nothing bad about P. I think that generationally, even though he's still affecting people today, currently right now in a major positive way, I think Lil Wayne's global icon status as an artist overshadowed anything that Master P ever could have thought about accomplishing in music, and everything else turned into business. And as he got older, you know, people weren't paying attention as much. Wayne has been doing it since forever, and again, to your point, his name is super solidified, right? So that's not just a safe, not just a solid, but it may very well be the right answer.
Nah, for sure. And back to Spitter, man, I just want to say, like, he been doing this a long time too, and still relevant to this day.
Very
like,
much so.
Currency has been around a long time, dog, and he may have more music than Wayne. And Weezy is like the mixtape guy. That's what they call him. But really,
like that's
Currency.
It's like, close. It ain't far off.
It ain't far off.
I always say, right? Tupac was like the godfather of super crazy work ethic, right? As far as hip hop is concerned, right? Let's keep it hip hop. Tupac, he's the godfather of that, right? I think Wayne took that and took that shit to the next level. I don't know who would be the next one after Wayne, honestly, but Currency is another person that, because I was on Currency since With a Cash At, right?
Yeah. So he's been around a long time.
Yeah. So that's like 20 years ago, more than.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? And he's still, Currency's dropped multiple projects this year, 2026.
Already.
Multiple. Maybe 3 or 4.
Got the one with Wiz, the one with Larry June, and I think he dropped a solo one this year too.
I think so too. Yeah. And the one with Wiz is the latest one, and that counts, but I'm talking about just solo shits. Like he be dropping shit, right? So
he dropped like 3 or 4 of them back to back toward the end of the year last year.
He did. He did.
Like July, August, September, October.
I love Spitter, man.
And then he put the dates on them. But yeah, man, I always say, you know, if I was to create a movie on my life, Currency would be the soundtrack.
That's a cool ass soundtrack.
For sure.
That's a cool ass soundtrack. All right, so another rapid fire question. I want to switch categories now.
All right.
We talk sports all the time. We get some of the same cookie cutter debates. You know, LeBron or Jordan, LeBron or Kobe, like all of the things that get, you know, people riled up. And again, we're here in Atlanta, Georgia. So when it comes to hoopers from Atlanta, right?
Okay. All right.
Hoopers from Atlanta, name, I would say, let me revamp that. Hoopers from Atlanta, do you think when it comes to them and their handle, they are in the upper percentile of like other cities or not? Because it's the South, you know, people from, you got some ballers that came out of the A.
Nah, for sure. I could give you some.
Yeah.
I could give you some for sure.
So you think it's a reputable, like put some respect on their name, or do you think,
hey, man,
he's alright, but he's not real?
I got you, dog. Check this out. When you talking about handles, like this guy wasn't in the NBA, but I know everyone familiar with Hot Sauce from the N1 days. He right here from the A.
Yeah.
So we'll talk about handles from Atlanta. Like you can't even talk about that without mentioning Hot Sauce.
Yeah.
And you know, right now, as far as the NBA goes, you know, I think it's kind of only one answer for real. Anthony Edwards. Even though Jaylen Brown, he really, I think he showed the world this year.
Yeah.
Without Tatum, I think people was kind of doubting him in the Celtics, and man, they ain't miss a beat, dog.
Yeah,
so,
shouts to JB.
Yep. Those guys there for sure.
Yeah, and I love Ant-Man too.
Gotta love
Ant-Man. He got the right attitude. He's got better every year. Like, you know what I'm saying? He's somebody that, again, puts on for the city.
For sure.
Well, for the younger generation.
Definitely.
Well, I love all of vibrato. I love it all. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
So shouts to Ant-Man as well.
Must see
from
TV.
Atlanta. Now, here's going to be a tricky one. Top barber city in the U.S.
Top barber city in the U.S.
Or better yet, where do the best barbers come from? What city do the best barbers come from out of the U.S.?
I mean, do they gotta be from there, or they just be that's where they establish themselves?
I mean, I would say from there.
Cause I'm from New Orleans, but I'm more established as a barber in Atlanta.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I think I would be more part of like the Atlanta culture when it comes to barbering.
Well, I think you would be part of the Atlanta culture, true, when it comes to barbering, true. That's a true statement, but you're still from where you're from, right?
No, for sure.
You know,
for
so
sure,
it's
definitely.
like, you know, you make your bones out here, cool. You know what I'm saying? And Atlanta is one of those places where you can come
out here
and kind of, you know, get your vibe or catch your vibe and you know, and make it happen. So a lot of people come out here that are not from here. In fact, we meeting more and more people that are not from here.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So, but I would still say, as an example, right? You hear cities like Philly got the best barbers, or you hear cities like Chicago got the best barbers. Like there's certain cities that are associated with that. So like I'm saying, in your opinion, would you agree with either of those two names based on what you know or heard, or do you look at it differently?
So man, it's a lot of good barbers, man, from all over. And I think with the internet right now, it's a lot of information that people, you know, where you can see what other barbers doing in other cities and kind of mimic that. And I think it's a lot of that going on.
That's fair.
But I've always admired Philly barbers that, you know, they got their thing with the beards. You know, I'm a beard guy. That's definitely their thing in Philly. LA, you know, you kind of got a lot of Latinos out there. They do a lot of razor work and designs and stuff like that. Even once again, people doing this all over, but you know, these are the places where
they kind of make it.
I was first hip to. But for me, man, I just really love the Atlanta culture of barbering. And like I said, a lot of barbers aren't from Atlanta. It is some that's from here, but just as a whole, we got some dope ass barbers out here, dog. Like a lot, dog. That's really doing different things. I'm in a documentary called The Evolution of the Barber, and the guy, shout out to my guy Ash, he out there in Champaign, Illinois, and he basically picked a bunch of barbers from Atlanta. He handpicked certain barbers. It's like 5, 6 of us. We all very successful, have our own lanes that we dominating in, and it's like everybody's story is similar, but it's different, if that makes sense. So, you know, and there's so many other barbers he could have picked, but I mean, everyone pretty much grew their names out here. They came from other places and came here, and you know, this is where, you know, everything started for them. And
that's fair.
Yeah, for sure.
That's fair. All right, so acceptable answer. Definitely acceptable answer. So let's get into the barber thing, right? You know, I always start with music because that's my wheelhouse. But for you, how do you get introduced to being a barber, piquing your interest? What was the moment? How did that happen?
Man, when I was young, my dad used to cut my hair, man, because we couldn't afford to go take me to the barbershop, right? And so, you know, he did a okay job, you know what I'm saying? He did the best he could, I'll say that. But when I'm going to school and I'm seeing these other guys, they've been in the barbershops, they got these sharp lines, these nice fades and all. I'm like, man, I want that, man. So, you know, the best thing for me to do to get that, because like I said, we couldn't afford it, was, man, I just picked up the clippers and started operating on myself.
Gotcha.
I went through a lot of trial and error, but you know, I got to a point where, you know, I was just doing it to my liking. I'm like, okay, this look good to me. I've come a long way. This look good to me. And next thing you know, people asking me, hey man, who lined you up? I'm like, I did it myself. They like, you lying? I'm like, nah, I did it myself. And they was like, man, you think you could cut me up or line me up or whatever? And I was like, yeah, man, I was charging dudes like $5.
Right,
I was doing the double tape lines. I don't know if y'all remember that. They be clowning us for that on the ground, but yeah, I was doing that on people. I was doing, you know, lineups, even all overs. I wasn't doing too much of fading yet or whatever, but you know, paying for my lunch money and stuff like that. So yeah, that's pretty much how, you know, I was introduced to it.
Okay.
Yeah, and then I just started. I already naturally had a love for drawing. That's where I used to draw all the Dragon Ball Z characters and everything like that. So yeah.
So now that's interesting though, and that actually is a key component, right? Because it is artistry, it's an art form, right? It's obviously a skill, but that fluidity of your hand when you're essentially designing someone's line or whatever, right? Artists have an advantage there. So were you like just somebody who just scribbled or doodled around like in notebooks when it came to art, or you actually?
Nah, man. One of my favorite Christmas presents ever that I got as a kid, my mom bought me this big ass suitcase. It had color pencils, stencils. Oh, it was a drawing kit. It was a big drawing kit. It was a suitcase that had everything in there. That was one of my favorite gifts ever as a kid growing up. And another thing too, man, I was a great writer as well. All my teachers used to say that, man. I recently just graduated from Full Sail in sports marketing and media in October.
Yes, sir.
All my projects and stuff like that I did in school, my teachers always gave me like great feedback on, you know, the creativity. And even though now it was through a laptop, you know, when I was in like elementary school, middle school, my writing, like people used to say I write like a girl. And I can't lie, even with how I use, how I do my curves on my lineups or whatever, coming around the
it's a certain finesse to it.
Kind of the same way that how I might swoop my C, how I might throw my N or whatever when I write.
That means your signature is ill then.
It is. Signature crazy.
Yeah. You know what I mean? One of those. Work, that's fire.
And man, I had just got to a point in life, I probably was like around 26, but I was like, man, this shit not for me. I always felt like, you know, I was better than all that type of work. There's something else I could be doing. And so I go to Atlanta Tech one day. I'm trying to make a change in my life, trying to, you know, get something going, a skill or something. So my cousin, he tell me about getting a CDL license. So I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go to Atlanta Tech. I signed up everything, went up to the school. I was supposed to go meet the CDL instructor. So they sent me on my way, told me where the class was at. So I'm walking to the CDL class. I walk past the barbershop. I never made it to the CDL class. I stopped at the barbershop, talked to the instructor, told him what I wanted to do. That's when the light bulb went off. Like, man, why you don't cut hair? You already doing this. I just never thought, like, I want to go work in a barbershop or something like that. I was just kind of doing it because I like doing it, and you know, I get a few dollars off.
I think we call that divine timing.
For sure.
That's what we call that. We call that divine timing because you didn't have no plans. You had a whole nother mission. You know what I'm saying? And something clicked. Some kind of energetic pull was pulling you to go into the barbershop because that's exactly where you were supposed to be.
I saw it, and man, I forgot all about the CDL class. I walked straight in there, talked to the instructor, and he told me to go back up to talk to the administrator, tell him I want to change. So I went up there, but they didn't have another barbershop. The school semester for the barbershop classes wasn't starting until like May. We in like February. I'm trying to make an immediate change, but I'm like, all right, I'll do it or whatever. Dang, I'm, kind of disappointed. I gotta wait so long, but okay, let's do it. So, man, I called my mom. I tell her, she asked me how everything had went. I'm like, Mom, I saw the barbershop. I'm gonna go there. Thing is, it don't start till May. She tells me, oh, well, it's a new barber school just opened around the corner from me. I could go up there and get the information for you. She goes up there, she get the information, sends me the number. I call them the next day. We set up a meeting for me to come up there. It was like Thursday when I called them. They had me come up there on Monday. Signed everything, man. I started the next week.
Crazy.
Yeah.
I feel like, again, another example of divine timing. Another example of divine timing, right? You never know. You literally never know. At that point in time, you didn't even realize you were walking in your purpose. You were just pulled to it. It was natural. You didn't ignore it. You didn't shake it off. You didn't say, nah, but homie over here said, the CDL. So, nah, you didn't push through it. You know what I mean? You felt the vibe, so to speak, right? And then you acted on that. And then just out of real, genuine expression, you tell moms, first of all, mom's gonna hold it down forever. Sure. Like, you know what I mean? Shout out mom. Mom's gonna hold it down forever. Like, that's just how that goes. But on top of that, you just expressing yourself, and what's the chances the barber school around the corner? It lined up too perfect.
And that's just how my life been, dog. Everything just full of 360 moments for me.
2 questions for you. Number 1, what year is this that we're talking about?
This is 2015.
2015. Second question, how do we get to Atlanta from New Orleans?
Oh, my mom, basically, she got a job making more money.
Okay.
And so she's a teacher.
Okay.
And the schools in New Orleans don't pay like they do out here. She had a friend that actually moved out here. And, man, she was just calling my mom. They worked together at a school. And she ended up moving to Atlanta. And she was telling my mom about, like, oh, we getting paid this. They paying this. They got these positions and all. And so, I think that sparked the interest for my mom. And then she took action, man. And,
okay.
And
how old were you?
I was 15.
Okay, cool.
Yep.
So you graduated high school in Atlanta?
Yep.
What high school you went to?
Well, I actually got my GED.
Well,
I was cutting up. I wasn't the best example.
Hey man,
student.
It's all good. It's all good, baby.
Yeah.
It's all good because like they say, you first of all, I only want to talk to people who've been through something. I don't want to talk to nobody who ain't been through nothing. I can't trust you.
For sure.
Like, you ain't been through nothing. No hard times. You just had I don't even. You ain't. Who don't got a story, right? Everybody has a story.
And the crazy thing is, I just want to say this too. I went to GED school and I still ended up finishing before my class. So
that means there's still something special about you, which brings us back to the platform and why we even do this thing that we do, because qualified conversations are for those who are, in fact, qualified. So we just getting into why this man is qualified. You can see it in his character. You can see it in some of his early stories. All throughout, he's always had a knack for taking the next step, going above and beyond, being better than. And that's kind of what this is about, right? So barber or cosmetology, right, is a skill.
For sure.
And you have to work at said skill. So 2015 is when things really change and we're starting to get into full-blown barber world, right?
Sure. Yep.
Talk about barber school versus reality once you got to the shop outside of barber college or whatever you know.
Well, I say this, when I was in barber school, as far as the other barbers who was in there working with me, because I had been cutting for a while, self-taught, I was a little more advanced. I was cutting my instructors and all, but man, once I got out of barber school and got an actual barbershop, I wasn't shit.
Yeah, okay. All right, good. We need to hear that. Let's talk about that story.
Wasn't as hot as I thought I was.
Yeah.
So,
real
barber
good,
school.
Good, nice slice of humble pie.
Yeah, for sure. So barber school kind of show you, the fundamentals of, cutting hair, basically, reference points. It give you the terminology and uniform cuts, the big fancy words that, we really don't even use much now. You just be like, bro, I just want to fade or whatever, you know what that is, or whatever. But I learned the history about barbering and all, but I didn't really get like the skill happen for real when I got into the barbershop and got around elite barbers who got, supreme clientele. And just, it's a lot, man. You wear a lot of hats as a barber, and there was a lot of things, that I wasn't prepared for. I had great instructors too, man. And, he told me a lot. They both taught me a lot. I had 2 instructors. They taught me a lot and prepared me for a lot of things, that I would face going in the barber. But, people tell you stuff, and you just like, yeah, all right. And then when it happens, you like, this is what he was talking about. Or whatever. So, the barber game could be ferocious, dog.
Nah, I get that. And I can understand how, just like many other industries, you go through your training and then when you get in the field, it's totally different, right? So either none of it, and it's not that it doesn't apply, but it's just different, right? You have to learn how to apply it. That you learn the skills, but you don't learn how to apply the skills. You just got a toolbox with a bunch of tools in it. You know what I'm saying?
And as you're cutting, man, it was so many moments earlier in my barber career where I'm cutting, and then I'll see something that my instructor told me, and I can hear his voice in my head, and I'm like, oh, this is what he was talking about.
And now you can use it.
Okay, right.
You got
this
that
is what he
tool.
meant by this. Oh, all right. So, those kind of things.
Yeah.
You learn stuff in school, but man, once you get in the field, that's when the things start clicking. Yeah. For real. Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about the first time you I don't want to say mess nobody up, but your first real challenge in the field where that might have had you a little nervous.
I never messed anyone up to where it was an altercation or a problem, where they tell me they didn't like it. I've heard a lot of stories, I've seen a lot of it, or whatever, but it really never happened to me directly. But it was a lot of times where I have done heck, 'cause I'm like, dang, I could have did that better. I don't really like this. Oh man, I hope you don't see this. I wonder what you're gonna say about this, and it'd be nothing really happened or whatever like that. So, but I've seen fights in the barbershop with people. Arguments, people not get paid. I done seen some crazy stuff, dog, in the barbershop.
I ain't got no emotional intelligence. They're like, the hell with that. Run me my fade, and now not the Clippers no more. You did that part.
I'll probably say the most challenging situation, first experience situation that I had. Man, I remember I had this little kid. Man, he was probably like 3 or 4 years old. And man, this shit kind of pissed me off a little, right? So I'm cutting the little boy, and he crying. Not the little boy pissed me off. I'm gonna get into it what pissed me off. The little boy crying, and I'm trying to work with him or whatever. And it's early on in my career too. And I'm trying to work with him, like, come on, man, put your head up or whatever. Offering to let him try to see the phone. If he wanted toys, so we had a toy box in the shop too for kids. And man, his dad came over there, bro, punched him in the chest, cursing him out. You need to stick your head up, da-da-da. And I ain't like that, dog. And I told him, I said, bro, you making them cry more. Or whatever. And so, he kind of, you don't be telling me what to do with my son and all that. I told him straight, I said, well, look, man, I don't want to cut. I ain't cutting him no more. I can't cut him like this. He got tears and spit all over the cake, the little boy. He hyperventilating and everything. I'm like, man, I can't do this. I'm not doing this, bro. I'm not cutting either one. So the owner of the shop, he saw everything going on, my boy Cuz, and he came over just like, nah, bro, we ain't cutting him, man. You just take him somewhere else and go somewhere else. And that was it pretty much. So that's probably like one of
the wildest
situations.
That is wild.
I wasn't fucking with that. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Nah, but I mean, even shout out to you for saying something as you should have. You know what I'm saying? Because that's wild. And we definitely not jacking none of that. So.
Nah, for sure.
Okay, what about hardest cut?
Hardest cut, man, for the, fading, man, I feel like that's something, most people gonna struggle with in the beginning, because, I used to watch all these YouTube videos about fading, and I just wanted to have the best fade I could do. I really wanted to perfect it early on, or whatever, when I was trying to learn. And man, one thing that they never talk about with fading is they show you all the steps and everything, but nobody never mentioned touch. Like the way it's the touch. It's the touch that you do with the fade, and how you use your corner, hold the bottom of the blade up a little. You're not necessarily flicking out. You just kind of smoothly, not flicking out. You just gliding on the back of the heel of it, and it's just that touch. You know what I'm saying?
Hey y'all, did y'all hear the passion in his voice when he started talking about cutting? You know what I'm saying? Did y'all catch it the same way? You know what I'm saying? Sure. Because what I saw was a lot of passion for what it is that you love to do.
For sure.
And I mean, if somebody gonna be doing certain things for me as a service, I want you to be the best. If it's gonna be a service that you perform, like you cut my hair, like I want you to care about it. I don't want you to just be in it for the bread and just do whatever and then be mad and not be trying to like fix like no.
Yeah.
So shout out to you actually loving what you do.
I definitely, man.
You know what I'm saying?
Once I figured out that touch, man, my phase went to another level because I already knew the steps. And I think a lot of guys kind of had that problem too in the beginning. You know the steps, but you're just pressing too hard on it. You laying the clip of flush on it instead of, kind of playing and feathering with the corner and everything. So, once I learned that touch, man, and I figured that out, that was one of those things that was like, oh, all right. I
got it.
Hit it like this. Do it like this. And once I figured that out, yeah, man, we went to another level.
So now, here's a interesting, I guess, perspective. When it comes to being a barber, do you subscribe to the fact that, well, you did say earlier that you wear multiple hats, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep,
so
yep.
Barbers are therapists because they're hearing all kind of stories from their clients. Like barbers are problem solvers in real time because he might have moved, and now you don't want to say nothing, so you gotta, do whatever to fix it, right? Like you're a part of major events in people's lives, weddings, proms, baptisms, funerals, all job interviews, like all kinds of super duper important. Damn, pretty much every important thing that you have in your life.
For sure.
You're coming to a barber if you're a man or a woman or somebody who gets their hair cut. You know what I'm saying? Like you're coming to a barber for every major event because you want to look nice. You want to look your absolute best. In other words, to make it simple, is it an extra added incentive because it's my boy's bachelor party, this the last weekend, so we going out, or it's my birthday, so like do you feel extra incentive to get somebody extra crispy, or because of that, that's just something that makes you just want to do your best?
Yeah, I definitely cut the switch on. I feel like for the most part, man, I could give you a fire haircut, fire fade, and be in autopilot with it. But yeah, it's times where I could really cut the switch on. For real. It's gonna take a little more time, or whatever. Just relax, bear with me. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I'm gonna get you there. Mm-hmm. And I want to say as well too, even with the wearing multiple hats, man. Like one thing I don't ever want to take away from nobody professionalism. Their profession, a career. So even like the therapist thing, I think some people take that way over the top. I don't want to take nothing away from no therapist.
Of course not.
It's almost like I hate when people say, it's a difference between a barber and somebody who cut hair. You know what I'm saying? If you licensed, you're a barber. You can't call yourself a barber and you're not licensed. So I like to take that serious with the barbering thing because for a long time people kind of use it as like a side hustle or whatever, and you can really make a real career out of this, dog, and you can really do some real things, dog, with things you never imagined you could do and things you can imagine that you want to do. So I just want to say that at first, as far as the therapist thing. But yes, we do consult and talk with people. And I had a dude come in my chair one time before, and man, he sat down and we just went to chopping it up, talking. He was laughing. He was telling me everything, about things he want to do and all, right? I finished the haircut. I handed him the mirror. You know what this dude told me, bro?
What's that?
He said, before I came to the shop, I was thinking about committing suicide. Me and my wife divorced. I'm living in a hotel right now. He was like, you changed my mind about everything. I appreciate you. He still stopped by here. He don't even be getting cut. He'll just come in here if he on edge, we'll walk by and come tell me what's up.
That's why.
And so when I say the therapist thing, it's not like I was sitting there, do you have these type of thoughts?
Right.
I didn't even know. We were just having a regular conversation. He was laughing. I had no idea that this was going through his mind.
This the barbershop. The place where a black man means something. Cornerstone neighborhood. our own country club. I mean, can't you see that? Something as simple as a little haircut could change where a man felt on the inside.
One of the more popular conversations that I've seen in recent years is how much should a haircut cost? A haircut don't cost that much. It don't take all of that. Like, why you charging so much, right? And I've heard a lot of different sides of this conversation. I've heard it from barbers. I heard it from people like myself who just go to the barbershop to pay for these cuts. Some opinions I agree with, some I disagree with. You are a barber, you are in the industry, you are in Atlanta. Atlanta is a higher market, so just location alone warrants a certain premium off of location, at least in my opinion. And so here in Atlanta, as a barber, where do you stand on the conversation of price? Should it be a lot now because things have progressed so much, or is it not that serious? Like, what is your take on this particular conversation?
Man, it's a barber for everybody, man. If you want to pay $15, $20 for a haircut, it's a $15, $20 barber out there. If you want to pay, a premium price, there's barbers out there for that. Now, what I will say though is, if you're gonna have those type of prices, the skill set need to be there. The knowledge should be there, definitely. It should be some perks and some amenities that come with it, as well as maybe even some extra services or whatever. But I mean, it's a barber out there for everybody. You go in the hood and find a dude cutting $15 right now, if that's what you want to pay or whatever. You don't have to come in, and you don't have to come in and get cut by the camera. You don't have to come in and get cut by the $50 barber, dog. If that's not in your price range, you got a budget. Work your budget. I hate when dudes come in $50 and I just be like, bro, it ain't that serious, dog. If that ain't what you want to pay, I'm cool. Right. It's all good. It's another shop up there. I don't know what they charging. It's barbers everywhere. It's barbershops everywhere. So, you know what I'm saying?
So,
it's up to you.
So play your pay range or your price range.
For sure.
Alright. What about celebrity barbers? Or even the term celebrity barber? Let me give you an example or say more words. I've been to quite a few shops in my day, right? And in my experience, if and when people start to cut celebrities' hair, automatically their price go up. So you cut Young Jock, no disrespect to Young Jock, first name came to mind. You cut Young Jock's hair, or you cut, whoever, right? All of a sudden now you're putting their name in your bio as, I don't know what that's supposed to mean, right? Congratulations. I don't know. But they start to charge more because they've cut a celebrity or two's hair, or they put celebrity barber behind it and think that's supposed to automatically add a premium. Where do you stand on that particular conversation?
Man, I can't speak for other people and how they be doing it, but for me, if Jay-Z book an appointment with me, it's gonna be $50. That is no different or whatever from anybody else. I don't do all, because they got guys out here that feel like, oh, this person, I'm gonna charge them this or whatever. I don't really get involved with all that, dog. Like, I watch what be going on. I pay attention to the stuff going on social media. I see, because it's part of my algorithm. You know what I'm saying? But I wouldn't just really consider myself like a industry type of barber. Even though you may have some industry clients. For people that really just, that's what they chasing. That's what they want to do and all. But I just do me, dog. And,
you cut hair.
And I done had people put that tag on me before. You a celebrity barber. Like, what exactly is a celebrity barber? You cut one celebrity or two? What's the qualification of being that? I done cut a few celebrities. I got a few of them in my arsenal, but shoot, I got regular guys too that pay them same premium prices and more. You know what I'm saying? That work regular jobs out here or whatever. So I got career jobs and stuff like that. So those are the ones that really gonna
be there.
feed you and be every
week. Celebrity might not come every week.
Nah. But
Some.
I got some of those too.
Yeah, talk that shit. It's not even crazy. Like, nah, we got some of that.
Those too. So, but you know, it ain't always been like that. So it ain't always been like that. I think that just speaks more to, you know, the work I've been putting in, the time I've been putting in. I make myself available or whatever. I done cuts at 3 in the morning before, so you know, just
like house calls.
Yeah, house calls, yeah, stuff like that.
Let me ask you this. These days, a lot of barbers have booking systems, right? So whatever your vehicle is that you use to set up your appointments, like I've heard, you know, some of my friends have conversations with me like, yo, you know, my man said he don't take no walk-ins, he only do it through appointments only, or he charged more because I didn't have an appointment and he was a walk-in. Like, again, is that more so just like run your business how you want to run your business, or is there a way to even feel about that approach to like that side of barber?
Like I say, man, you know, I can't speak for everybody else once again, but like for me, you know, at first, when I first started cutting hair, dog, I used to want to cut the whole city, dog. I'm talking about I'd be in the shop, man, 8, 9 o'clock in the morning, 8, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock at night, then go do a house call. And you know, after a while, I was kind of like, you know, I built my clientele, and then I was trying to build my name. So, you know, I'm like, man, I'm energetic, I'm excited about it, which I still am to this day, but I ain't got to chase it as much as I did then to make a name for myself. And so, you know, after a while, once you get your name built up and all, and it's times, bro, I cut a lot of heads throughout the week. Like for the past 3 years, bro, I go to Georgia Tech and cut them twice a week. You know what I'm saying?
Also, because swag shop, we in the swag shop once again here in Atlanta, Georgia. Fat Shops to Killer Mike. There's a swag shop in State Farm Arena, right? So you cut there as well.
That's what I'm about to get to.
Okay.
State Farm Arena. I cut Georgia Tech. Go cut the whole basketball team twice a week. I was switching over to LSU this upcoming season. So
okay. Because I seen the coach just went out there.
Yeah, that's my dog.
Okay.
That's why I just left from earlier.
Okay, fine.
I was cutting at OTE for 3 years. So, and then I got my clients that I already built up in the shop. So, bro, I'm cutting easily 80 plus heads a week. You know what I'm saying? So it may be a time where somebody will come in the shop and I just got done cutting the head, and now I'm sitting down. I might have me 30 minutes or 40 minutes to sit down and chill now, and they talking about, you know, oh man, I'm trying to get a cut. Man, you don't want to make no money? And I'm like, I don't want to make no money, boy. You just don't know, bro. I've been standing on these things all week. So that's my little break right there. You know, I've been cutting 8, 9, 10 hours. That's my little break right there. Some people don't really, you know, they don't know for real. They just think, oh, he's sitting down, he can give me a haircut, they could bribe me with some money. I didn't turn down $100 before for a haircut just because, you know, once I cut it off, dog. You know what I'm saying? I'm done. I put myself on my schedule. Now every now and then, you know, if I want to make me a little extra amount,
if you want to.
Right. You know, I'll do it. But yeah, it been times where I'm just like, nah, bro, I'm done today. You know what I'm saying? Ain't really much bribe you can give me now. You know, if you make me an offer, I can't. At this point, $100 is not an offer. I can't refuse. No.
But
you talking $500,000?
Yeah.
You know what? You know what? All of a sudden, I feel good.
I got another hour. I can definitely make another hour. Word, that's funny.
Well, I'll say this too as well. Like another beautiful thing about being a barber, man, you create your own environment. You know what I'm saying? If I want clients that's only want to pay premium prices, that's the only clients that, you know, I can do it. If I don't want to cut kids, you don't have to cut kids.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? If you could tailor it however you want. Like a misconception that I think a lot of the misconceptions are things that other barbers are putting on other barbers more so than clients. I don't care what you know, people who not sitting in my chest say.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You're not for me.
Yeah.
I'm not the barber for you.
Yeah.
That's simple. It's mainly
keep it moving.
Yeah, that stuff don't bother me. But it be other barbers, man. That's the ones that get under my skin sometimes, because this stuff you can really tailor it how you want. So who says it's a right or wrong way to do it? If this person want to charge $100 for a haircut, hey, that's on him or whatever. If this person want to charge $25 for a haircut, that's on him or whatever. You want to be right in that middle at that 50, that's on you. You can do it whatever you want. Like, even in our shop, bro, like all us, we got our own things going on, own things that we offer. My boy L, he offer SMP services. You know what I'm saying? Queenie, she shoot a lot of content. She a new barber in the shop. She big on the content. My boy Rob, Rob a OG barber, man. Before the Instagram and all that, he been on tours with rappers and all. That's Killer Mike and Big Boy and them barber. Like he been on tour and he don't, you know, people would just look at him and just think he just an older barber in the shop. But everything that these barbers want to do, he was doing that before the social media era. He been doing it. So, you know, everybody kind of got their own different thing that they could do. They got their own prices, own services that they offer. So, you know, yeah, I just feel like, you know, man, you could do it how you want to do it.
Do it how you want to do it.
So I don't get with all the fussing for, like Jay said.
What's all the fucking fussing for? Because I'm grubbing more?
Right, and I pack heat like I'm the oven boy. I don't get with all the back and forth. And when people arguing about commission, boot rent, suites and barbershops, man, who cares? Do what you want to do. You could do it how you want to do it.
And be happy about it.
As long as you happy about it and it work for you, do it.
Hey, I'm not mad at that. That's definitely a word. Something else that just came to my head when you were talking about like some of those things you just mentioned. You know the thing about like first chair, like, is that a thing or where did that come from? Like, is that a real thing? Person typically who sits at the front or at the back is the best barber?
I think it just depends on what shop you going to and how the owner want to set it up, but here, nah. I mean, you know, I mean, I think it may be. And
to be clear, that definitely wasn't a setup to like, you know what I mean, try to talk about somebody else's skill shop here in the shop.
You get cut by my boy in the second. Having you right. So I know that. Yeah. So I do think in some shops it's a thing. You know, however the owners may want to set that up or whatever. I got the first chair, man, because I was in the second chair when I first started. The barber who was in the first chair, he left. They slid me down.
Just moved down.
And my boy Rob, he in the last chair because he liked to be in the back.
Yeah.
So, and you know, so that's just how that happened. It's no
real thing.
No real thing as far as with me. Now I have my first shop that I ever worked at. The owner, he was, I ain't gonna say his name or whatever, but he, you know, he kind of one of those guys, like, you know, it's about me, I'm the shit, this my shop. So yeah, he had the first chair just because he wanted to let everybody know who walking in the door, this my shop.
And I'm calling the shots. I got you. We got you, big dog.
Right. So, but nah, I don't think that's a thing. And I mean, does it even really matter?
Does it even really matter? Are you fresh? Are you happy?
Yeah, like whose chair is available? Who's bringing in clients? Who's coming to see you? You know, that's like, I'd be more worried about those things, man. Like, yeah.
Okay, let's take it off of barbershops for just a second. Let's go back to music.
All right.
Clips. We were super excited when that album came out.
For sure.
Because leading up to it, the rollout was amazing. The music was amazing.
The concert was amazing.
The concert is where I'm actually getting to because I didn't go. I know you went. I know you had the fit. You had everything. You had the merch.
Yep.
I did not go. So for people who did not go to that show, like myself, or who have not seen the clips off of this last run that they just went on this last year, talk about that show, what it was like, what made it dope.
Oh man, so to be honest, man, that was as far as my arsenal of artists that, you know, that I personally love, that was by far, you know, the first experience of me going to a show for an artist that's like in my top 5. You know what I'm saying? Pusha T in my top 5. And you know, Malice, you know, I got to put them there as a whole really now because that was like the highlight of the album for me. We already know what Push do and all. I was really interested in seeing, you know, that dynamic of the clips, him and Malice showed out on that thing for real.
Malice was MVP of last year, I feel. He was. Because or comeback player of the year is really what I meant, but also MVP too, because he had a hell of a year. Or every bar was hitting. They look great. They sound great.
The show was amazing.
They were grown. They didn't look like they were old trying to be young. You know what I'm saying? Everything about it was perfect.
Yeah.
Everything about all of it was perfect to me.
I feel like, you know, they did exactly what they were supposed to do and how they were supposed to do it, man. From, like you say, the look. You know, the Clips in them, man, you know, they was known for wearing baked, plate clothes. They had their own little, you know, they definitely, they was fresh as hell, dog.
That's where Mr. Me Too came from, or some part of that story.
The camera angles that they had the part of the set where they would have their back facing the crowd, but their head is on the, so they're looking at you through the screen, and it's this big screen, and they looking at you with their backs facing. Y'all was like, oh man, and the way the photos that they had, like, you know, just throughout the different songs that they played, like some of the photos would match, like, you know, some of the things that was being said, highlight parts of the verses or whatever, like showing his mom and his dad on some parts, you know, having the old school, like Mexicans, like El Chapo and them, when they rap the Coke bars and all, like it was fire, dog.
I was so mad that I missed that. I wanted to go, but I'm happy at least one of us, you know what I'm saying, got to experience that. Shout out to the clip, shout out to that album, shout out to some of the elder statesmen, you know, that are still dropping quality music. Because, you know, we don't care about everybody's music. We're not going to act like we care about everybody that's dropping music. They were somebody I cared about, and they delivered. And
I'm looking forward to I'm already ready for either a solo project from either or another Clips album. I'm ready.
Yeah. He said he only want to work with Malin, so cool. I'm cool with that. I'm cool with that. Now, let's get to this. I'm going to the concert. Yankee Stadium.
Lucky you.
New York City.
That's
July. Can't wait. There's rumors, nothing confirmed, that there may be music on the way. For you, do you think we need another Jay-Z album, or do you think we're cool, you know, if we don't get another album? Like, are you looking for another album? I'm asking you. Hell
yeah, we need a Jacque drop album every year if you want for me. But yeah, I think this one for me, man. This one. Hey, Pill, I'm doing the interview right now, Pill. I'm doing the interview right now. Yep. My boy, I'm gonna talk with you in a few. Yep. But Jay, you know, I'm always looking forward to a Jay-Z album. So, you know, I think this one, because it's the gap of it and everything that's been going on in the world. And, you know, people been having a lot of shit to say about Jay or whatever. And, you know, Jay like to come out now these days when he's ready to address some shit. And I think he got a lot of shit on his chest right now.
I'm telling you, I think he got a lot to say.
Yeah, I think he do too. So
I think he got a lot to say.
I'm looking forward. I hope that's what it is.
All right, so last barber question I wanna actually ask. Is there a cut that you've never done that you feel like you would love to try, you would love to take a stab at, you just haven't really had the opportunity?
I feel like I've done like a lot of cuts. I've done the old school cuts, you know, I guess you could say new school cuts or perfected cuts from old school cuts or whatever. I think the thing is now I would like to see people just bring back a lot of those old school cuts and add their own little flavor to them, you know, like the Gumby, the high right, low left. I've done all those cuts. It's just I haven't done many of them, but I would like to see people do some different things besides, you know, temping the line up. Let me get a little temp. They say, let me get a little temp. I'd be like, what's a little temp, dog? So, you know, yeah, I would like to see, you know, people bring back some of those creative styles that they wore in like the 80s and the 90s. Yeah,
we were more creative and we were more expressive when it came to dressing in the 80s and the 90s. Sure. I think people got too cool. I think people got overly designer heavy or happy. And I think it just became about brand recognition as opposed to style and fashion.
For sure.
So when it resurfaces, because there's all cycles, right? There's all different types of waves. When certain people have parties, you see 90s parties, you see 80s parties, you know what I'm saying? You see throwback parties, because when they have these parties, everybody's dressing how you dressed then. Why? Because it was a lot more expressive than it is from head to toe. Now, there are exceptions to every rule, right? Like somebody like a Tyler, the Creator. Anomaly, right? Don't matter if his fashion is your cup of tea. He's a fashionable guy who has his own style, head to toe, right? All different types of looks and all different types of, you know, vibes or whatever. Somebody like, I don't know, I can't think of nobody else, but somebody else outside of, you know, say like a Tyler, the Creator, they may just be into plain. Like me, myself, you know, I'll dress, you know, I'll have a nice base. Like I'm not gonna go too crazy. I'm not gonna take crazy risks. I know how to blend my shit and know how to make it work. But, you know, you got some people with hair, with locks. They might have blonde or certain different colors, or you know what I'm saying. Shouts to you know, one of my good friends, you know, Chef C. Like she has a shortcut and she dyes hers different colors. Sometimes it's blue, sometimes it's pink. Like you know what I'm saying.
Effect, huh?
Yeah. So yeah. You know what I'm saying. So you know, there are different looks that certain fashionable people have. I personally, though, agree. I would like to see some of those styles come back.
Yeah.
Because it's cool, man. You know what I'm saying? Express yourself in a fly way, though. You know what I'm saying? Don't be weird. So before we get out of here, man, are there any things that you have coming up that you maybe want to promote or want to let people know, you know, that they should keep an eye out for?
Nah, not really. Just keep watching, man. I'm full of surprises. I kind of got things, man. They just come up, man. These days, they just come up.
Oh, I know what I wanted to ask. Sometimes there are commercials or things that happen at the shop, right? When those type of things happen, how cool are those experiences? Like I noticed, you know, over the last holiday, they had, you know, Jacque and the whole, you know, TNT, cool. Spike and all of those guys, you know, came through. What are some of those experiences like? Because, you know, because of how popular this shop is, that is one added advantage that, you know, between the relationship with Mike and New Face and all these other people that help facilitate these events, there's a lot that happens. So what are those experiences like?
Oh man, they cool, man. Get to be part of things, you know, that you know, you wouldn't typically get to be a part of, for real, just because of having the ties with Mike and being in the shop. Yeah, being a part of those things, dog, really then changed a lot of things for me, because I've even met people that I met from being on these sets and built relationships with people that I met on these sets and everything. So, you know, it gives you other opportunities, and I'm always looking, you know, no matter what situation I'm in a room, I'm always looking for, you know, what could I get into? What could me and this person barter? Or how could we make each other lives better? What can I gain from this situation? What could I add to this situation? So, you know, being part of those things, you know, is always cool to me.
I think that's fire, man. And again, well, we never did mention your social media handles. So let everyone know where they can get in tune with you and follow you and maybe come get a cut.
Yeah, for sure. You go on Instagram, my chair doing 360s, my MY chair CHAIR doing DOIN 360S. Yeah, the booking link in the bio. Shit, you can send me a DM too.
Send a DM.
We'll figure it out.
You know what I'm saying? Make sure you go ahead and click the link. Make sure you go ahead and book. He gonna have you crispy. Like he said, he's nice. My barber Al's nice, but everybody in the shop is nice. That's just kind of like a prerequisite you gotta have to be in a place like this. Again, we are in the swag shop here in Atlanta, Georgia, owned by Killer Mike, and we want to give Killer Mike another happy birthday shout out and say, you know, thanks again for extending your doors. And we're gonna sign off the same way we do each and every time. So until next time, everything Rico.